back to my YouTube channel. As you can see today, I am not alone, but before I introduce the special guest, her. I love it. I want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you that have liked my videos, subscribed, and of course also shared. I see you, I hear you. The feedback is amazing. And to those of you who haven't, I'm thanking you in advance. Okay, make sure you like, subscribe, share, everything you need to do. But yes, this week's episode is based off of feedback from last week's episode. So last week someone reached out and basically it was like, he loves the videos. His sister is studying English literature and would like to know what it's like to be in media and basic steps they need to take. So like I said, I see you, I hear you, and this is for you. Of course, joining me for this episode is the one, the only,
oh my god,
Ronke
getting up to
welcome. Feel free
I hope I
to
live up to expectations because oh my god, this intro is like,
are you kidding me?
My head.
Not expectation. You are the expectation.
Oh my god.
You
Thank
are
you,
the expectation.
Thank you.
You have done so much. She's been there. She's done that, and she definitely has a t-shirt. Over a decade in the industry.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Mixed feelings. Because there are days I'm like, there are days when I wish I was like one of those people who moved from, moved careers or moved radio
stations. They called me names for that. But don't worry, we'll get to that.
I think that people who, and I know that back in the day, people used to look at people who moved a lot as, you're not serious, but I don't think so. I think it takes a lot of guts to move, and I think it gives you a different experience with different, workplaces. Yeah.
But then it also gives you a reputation with employers.
True, that you're fickle. I get that. But I think Gen Z is not doing the 12 years in a row. Nobody's doing that these days. So please, employers.
So
nobody's gonna
say left. Okay, it's great to have you on this episode. I am going to try and be intentional about not saying the MA word. In case in case you don't know, if you see Ronke G, you're not going to see her on the streets because you see her rolling.
Holla at your girl.
You get me? Holla at your girl, but don't use MA. Don't use ma, right?
No matter how old you are or how young you are, please don't mommy.
And Ronke, so
what is your mommy?
What is it for you? Your mommy. Wow. Okay. So what is it for you? How do you like to be referred?
Ronke. Just call me Ronke. Very few people call me Ronke. Even when I say my name, it sounds weird.
Yeah.
Everyone calls me Ronke. I know people hate it when you say, well, when I was in London, sorry, don't feel like I'm doing it because, but no, to be honest, if you have exposure then you realize that, in more exposed or more developed environments, people refer to 60-year-olds. I had bosses that were like in their 50s and I called them, hi Greg, hi Jack, hi
Kids
Peter.
refer to their parents by their first name.
Exactly, yeah. So I know that respect is not about your title. Respect begets respect, and elderly people feel like they're the only ones, that ought to be respected, but even a 2-year-old needs to be respected.
Yeah, and respect begets respect.
Absolutely.
Right? So this episode, of course, is for you, in case you want to be in the radio industry or in media, in case you just want to know the inside a little bit. We're not going to give too much away, right? Okay. So we're going to have a little fact or fable. You've probably heard a lot about radio divas. You've probably heard a lot about the media industry, and we are going to break it down with a fact and fable. She knows a lot, okay, about the industry, so she's probably the best person to tell you whether it's true or whether it's false. So let's get it rolling. All right. So we're going to begin with this first one. Fact or fable? OAPs make the big bucks and are living their best life.
Okay. Oh, who said that?
So I feel a lot of OAPs. There is the need to flash the lifestyle.
Yes, because there's so many people that look up to you, idolize you, so you want to live.
Have you ever seen someone's picture on Instagram and then you see them in real life and you're like,
I know, whoa. Yeah, absolutely. Well. In Ibadan, okay, you want to differentiate though. OAPs in Ibadan, OAPs generally.
Generally.
Okay, yeah, there are OPs that are actually living their best life, but not on their radio salary. I don't think any radio station pays that big fat salary, but in certain states, you are also open to certain opportunities.
Okay.
Your platform exposes you to opportunities. In Ibadan, the opportunities haven't come yet. I've been waiting about 13 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know where I'm coming from, and I know how much I used to earn when I started, and it's nowhere near come. I mean, yeah.
So radio is bringing in the coins for you.
Yeah, I mean, I work. My radio station, I think, is the highest paying radio station. So it's.
You heard. You heard. For me, I didn't get on radio. So I got on radio with the mindset of, even though employers also take advantage of this mindset,
Yes.
I got on radio with the mindset of, radio is a platform, right? It's like they're giving you a shop,
Yes.
for you to showcase your goods.
Absolutely.
Sell yourself.
Sure.
Sell yourselves to the advertising agencies, for voiceovers and all of that. So I've always approached it with that mentality.
Right.
And if there's one thing I've had going for myself, like on and off radio, is a voiceover. And I know that radio did blow that up a lot, because obviously you say, oh, have you heard of this person's voice? You can't just tune in.
Yeah.
You know what it sounds like.
Yep.
So for me, I've never seen radio as
Big pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, and I think that's the best way to, for people who are coming in, that's the best way to look at it, that you're just being given an opportunity. And so what you do with it is your business.
Yeah.
So your radio station, in fact, radio stations are now looking for who to add value to their station as well.
You
So
feel
they're
me?
looking at your social media, oh, you have 10,000 followers, good. Then your 10,000 followers will also listen to us.
Translate to.
So what value do you bring, and what are you going to do? It's a means to an end. It's not.
So this information is for employees. Employers, please don't listen to this.
Exactly.
Because I feel employers also take advantage of this, right? Because in our we're giving you platform now, so why should we be paying you your salary regularly?
Well, do that at your own peril, because at the end of the day, pay peanuts, you hire monkeys. So yeah, someone may have the intention of not, oh, I'm not going to get 1 million on this job, but doesn't mean you should now start paying them 20k and ridiculous, because then they're going to start acting up. If you're paying somebody 20k, they will miss shifts. They will have a side hustle. I mean, you're paying someone 20k, and you expect that they are going to be at your work and focus and be committed to your work.
I don't think so.
You're on your
I
own.
don't think so. Okay, like she's giving us a lot of snapshot moments. Like I have a lot of material to work with. Okay, fact or fable? It's all fun and games. You're just getting paid to talk. It's easy to be on radio. Like you're just getting paid to talk. All fun and games. I get a lot of, you're living your best life.
I know, I get that too. You just work from 10 to from 7 to 9.
I mean,
please.
People think that you just turn on the mic and open your
I
mouth.
know,
Wow,
absolutely. Besides the research you have to do before you even come and do, even if it's a 1 hour show, the emotion. There are times when I get off radio from just an hour and a half, and I feel emotionally drained. People don't see that. I feel emotionally drained. I just feel like virtue has left me, literally, you know. So people don't see the emotional side. People don't see how because radio stations are so competitive now. So they're comparing you to your counterpart from another radio station. So you may have given in your best, and they're coming to say, oh look, the NPS report has come and you are still not right there. Do you know how that hits? You know, so people don't see all of those things. The research you put in for 1 hour show, you could be working like oftentimes on my Tuesday show is when I have guests. Like a week before is when I've started work on, okay, what am I going to do next Tuesday? So because I don't want to sound ridiculous, I don't want my guests to think, what kind of stupid questions are these ones? I don't want even people to think, oh, this is something I can get off Google. So I have to do the work so that you feel like you heard something new. So
there's a lot of work that goes on before she turns the mic on, to be honest.
Absolutely.
And show prep is one.
Yes.
There's the other end of the energy.
Yes.
So you may be going through hell.
True.
You may have had a bad day.
Nobody cares.
Somebody may have splashed water on your body as you're coming to work.
Yep.
But once you turn that mic on, nobody cares. You do not bring your emotions on air, and trust me, it does take a lot of discipline to do that. I have intentionally get out of the studio because I know you are bad news. I don't want you to come and talk to me before I have my show, because I know that it might
mess up my vibe. Absolutely.
It takes a lot of energy. So no, radio is not all, it's a fable.
No,
it's not all fun and games.
Fable.
There's a lot of work. Fact or fable, you have to be an extrovert to be on radio.
Fable.
Really?
Yeah, this was anyone out there who feels like, oh, but I'm not out there You know, I'm not like Joanna. I'm not. No, I know people who are very.
You're like who?
Well,
I'm on there.
well,
Really?
Joanna's Instagram
That's news to
persona.
me. Okay.
Okay, because I don't. Well, Joanna thinks I'm an extrovert like that, but people who are watching who know me know. Yes, I am, but not completely.
You're high energy.
I am. No, that I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always like, you know. So I am, but for example, people don't even invite me out anymore because I don't go. Because I'd rather be
I always see you outside.
Where? Outside is at work. See, that's the thing. Because I have nowhere to go, I dress up to work,
Okay.
put my makeup on because hey, I gotta look fly for y'all on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean,
Nice.
if you notice, a lot of my pictures are taken in the same spot, and that's at work. So I don't really like to go to party. I don't like crowd. I don't like being touched. I don't.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to be an extrovert.
No, you don't. You absolutely.
But I feel there's some level of like you have to be friendly because you have to
Yeah.
connect with people.
Absolutely, and I don't feel like that's being an extrovert. You can be an introvert and still be friendly. There are some people who hide under the guise of I'm an introvert and they're horrible people. They're just unfriendly, just unapproachable. No,
That's
we're
not
not
me.
asking to be horrible. You know, but you can be, you know, just chill and be on radio. I mean, some of your faves are introverts. I don't know how many people know. Let me not mention names. But yeah. Oh, like Edmond. Edmond is in.
Okay,
Yeah,
for
it's a total
sure,
introvert.
for sure.
Yeah, it's a
For
total
sure. But
introvert.
he's
Let me
very
see.
articulate. in getting
Yes,
his points
exactly.
across.
So there are people.
Yeah.
Let me see any female introverts on radio that we know.
No, for real. So let me tell you something. When I go on radio, a lot of people that knew. So
Yeah.
Jonah, you can talk. Like this is you.
Yeah.
Like for me, once the mic is on,
Yes.
it's action.
True, you know. And I
Like,
think we all have people who, when we're around, we just
yeah,
come
like
alive,
like
yeah.
you feed off their energy.
absolutely.
Definitely
So, yeah, but
like
you don't
that.
have. You don't have to be so Fable. I think.
Okay, great. Start in a small town, but your goal is a big city.
That's a mix. It depends on what you want. I actually did a vlog on this. I remember like for the first few years, I also kept, you know, thinking, I should move to Lagos. I should move to Lagos. Yeah, I'm sure everyone, you know, feels that way or has felt that way at some point. But you can be here, remain here. I mean, and just do you. If that's what you want, don't go to Lagos for the sake of everyone's going to Lagos, and that's where your name will be in, you know, lights.
Yeah.
Because you go there and you get swallowed. Nobody will ever hear of you again. And that will end.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like doom. Nobody will ever hear from you again.
I know. So yeah, so you have to weigh the pros and cons. We all don't have to go to Lagos. Yeah, I mean, people think that Lagos is Nigeria. People in Port Harcourt who are doing fantastic on
Exactly,
radio.
Abuja.
Enugu, yes.
all over,
So
all
please,
over.
this said, especially, and I'm glad that we have all of this like
Yeah.
radio cast, radio guide who do beyond Lagos, and they actually
Experiences.
absolutely. So please, no.
Yeah,
Fable.
yeah. Funny enough, I fell for that Fable. I think I started radio. Let me just start somewhere.
Yeah.
But my goal is Lagos. And then when it did, like when the opportunity did come
Yes.
to perhaps go to Lagos, I grew cold feet
I know.
because Lagos.
I know.
Lagos.
Cray.
I think we'll talk about this because I only consume it in small doses.
Absolutely.
I can't do
Yes.
that.
I know, and I think I talked about it in my vlog as well, about how at some point, yes, I actually did tell myself, okay, well, are you a local champion? Are you just in Ibadan and are they just hailing you because, so maybe try yourself. And I went to Lagos and I actually auditioned at,
Okay.
you know, some stations, and it was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're great. Then I felt like, okay, good, I'm not, because
So you're worthy of opportunities
Yes.
in Lagos, but
yes,
you're choosing.
thank you,
yeah.
choosing. So you can actually test that on yourself, and so you're not just here because you are comfortable,
Local
because you are
town.
the one-eyed man in the city of the blind. So you can actually do that as well.
Great. So yes, you can stay in your. It doesn't have to be. Ibadan's not a small city, is it?
At
No,
all.
it's not. Okay, fact or fable? You need an accent to be on radio.
No, don't get confused. I know that Joanna and I kind of have like, even I've lost my accent. Well, I don't think I really.
You
have.
speak clean.
Yeah.
Like your English is
Thank
on
you.
point. So yeah.
So it's not like I'm talking like a British Persian and I'm trying to be like, oh, okay, we're going to talk that way. No, this is ridiculous because you hear all sorts from America to British to Italian.
One of my friends, she put it on her status recently that the accents that are playing around
I
on radio
know.
nowadays.
Yeah, I know some stations require that you have an accent. Apparently, I hear.
Okay.
I hear some stations require,
It
but that's their
sounds-
prerogative. But you don't have to. I believe that if you pronounce your words properly,
Yeah.
you
That's
may
the
sound
thing.
like you have an accent, but no, you're just articulate.
That's
You're just eloquent.
And then too much of an accent can also make you lose or not
Yes.
as connected to your listeners. I
Thank
remember when I
you.
came on radio, it was heavy, and I would get like air checks and be like, okay, turn it down a bit, turn it down a bit. And I think it's important you do so because the essence of I feel coming on radio, you want to connect to people.
Absolutely.
You need to be understood. So being understood over
Thank
accents,
you.
always.
Always,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So Fable,
Yeah.
very good. Okay, the industry is toxic. There are no real friends in the media space. I hear that a lot.
Okay.
That the radio industry,
Yes.
media is very toxic. And I've also had my cup of tea.
Oh,
I've also had
really?
my experiences. Yeah, and I haven't been on for long. That's
You
the
get
funny
tea
thing.
after. You get it after. But well, that hasn't been my experience. Maybe because I've always had my boundaries there. No more. I can be laughing and all of that too, but until I feel that, well, the lines are very, very clear. I feel that you can be very nice, very friendly, and you know, but you don't, because I think people always like to rush relationships or rush to call someone friend, and I think that's why they get into that trouble. So people like your colleagues, it takes a lot for me to say friend, you know. So, and I've always been like that. So for me, I haven't experienced the toxicity bit because my boundaries have always been very
But
clear.
the beef part,
I've not. Maybe
Somebody-
they just
somebody
do
was
behind
even-
me. They don't
she
do
pays
it.
no, she pays that. You don't exist.
You don't.
You don't exist.
I only had one or two, but then I don't think that's because I've always owned my lane. I've never felt like I was competing with anybody. I
Like
know
you
even
never
when I reached out
paid
to
mind to
yeah,
them.
so I didn't think
So I
they
don't
were
think
doing
it's
that.
like
I just
they're
thought they were
there,
horrible
they're not
people. I've met
They
horrible.
may be there, but you just
Yes,
don't
I
pay mind
didn't.
to them.
Yeah. So I just felt like this two
That's
people,
very
this
good.
one particular person I've had issues with. Okay, so watching whatever. It's just a horrible, nasty person,
Okay.
and I'm sure people that know will be able to confirm. So it's not because we're dragging. No, we can't.
General
we
knowledge.
can't drag listeners.
Okay.
We can't drag
She's
listeners.
on her own name.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I own that name. Yeah. So,
I love the energy.
And everyone should. If we all did, then nobody will have to feel like, oh, what's wrong with her? What's she feeling like? She's feeling like herself. Maybe you have, inferiority complex. You need to work on that. Ooh. Okay, am I being too hard?
No, we need it. We need this. All right, fact or fable? You need a pseudonym to be on radio. That is, you have people say radio goddess, radio dragon, radio.
I used to do that too. I remember I did radio drag.
Like you can't go on radio with your real name.
No. I think that was very popular back in the day when I started. People said, "Oh, you have to have something in radio dialing." I remember when I got took radio dialing. Someone has taken that before. I'm like, is the person still on radio? No, so I can never use.
Okay.
Like seriously. Eventually, I just thought, you know what? And then I went from it was always Ronnie G, and that's before radio.
Okay.
My mom has been calling me Ronnie G since I was, because I was always like every time there was like a
Such a G.
no, exactly. Because from Ronke Giwa, so it was Ronnie, and then because we had like 3 Ronkes in my class in secondary school, so it's always Ronke G, Ronke B, so it was Ronnie G, Ronnie B.
She's been cool from way back in the day. Nice.
So it wasn't for radio. So Ronnie G actually is not for radio, but then eventually, as I also just became more whatever on radio, I just thought it would be nice to use my name. So that's why it's till now it's still Ronke Giwa-Onafuwa.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, nice. So you don't need
No, you do not have to be
remember
radio
calling
dynamite.
Okay, so is it better to like begin with like your real name?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
Whatever you want. Don't worry, eventually you will. I think everyone should just find there. It doesn't matter. I don't think there are rules. If you want to start with a pseudonym, that's fine. But eventually when you outgrow it, it's fine too, because people used to be Ronnie G. Now is Gegiwa, and everybody complaining, Onafuwa.
yeah, there is a way you pronounce it. You take your time. Like, fam, don't rush my name. Ronke Giwa-Onafuwa. Please do that for me. We need that moment. Ladies and gentlemen.
And Ronke Giwa-Onafuwa.
I love it.
Actually, it wasn't deliberate. It was because I'd been Ronke Giwa for a long time.
Yeah.
So when I got married, I was thinking, should I just do Ronke Onafuwa? Should I do Ronke Giwa? And I remember the first I was like Ronke Giwa and Onafuwa. So it just became.
Okay. Like, you don't rush the name.
Yeah,
Don't rush. I
yeah.
remember the name, by the way. Okay. Fact or fable? You have to pick a niche. For your brand's sake, you can't be an all-rounder. If you're doing urban, you're doing urban. If you're doing family, if you're doing music, if you're doing serious, you have to pick one.
That's fact and fable, depending on what radio station you work with.
Oh.
So there's some radio stations that expect you to do everything.
So the radio station goes a long way to define you.
Exactly. So if you work with an entertainment radio station, you can say, oh, all I do is entertainment and that's all.
Okay.
But with certain radio stations like mine, you cannot say that. They can draft you to come and interview some notable, person. Yeah, there are some people, maybe only one person at my radio station anyway, who does just entertainment, but yeah. I think you can sort of have a niche, but be able to still do quite a few other things as well.
So you have to be versatile.
Absolutely.
But for your brand,
yes.
Obviously the radio station has its own brand, but for your personal brand, like, does it help to be an all-rounder?
I think so. I think eventually what you're best at will shine through. So you can do a lot of things. Like, for example, I do I'm not the best at entertainment. I'm not a music person, but I can do a music show. But I guess you'd be able to tell that, oh, that's not really, but not like I'm that bad at it.
Yeah.
But what you're best at will eventually shine through, but you must be versatile.
Okay. This next one.
Oh.
So I've been called a media hoe.
Okay.
Now, wait, chill, wait. Okay, I've been called a media. What other word can I use? But like that was direct.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Or I have been. Okay, not.
Oh, wait, you've only been to 2 radios.
Not called direct. Okay, so you already get the meaning. Because some people, I think the obvious meaning is
that you're no.
We'll get round to that description, right? The literal description.
Yes. Okay.
Right. But I've been called a media. Like I hop about. Like in just 3 years, I had almost gone to 3 radio stations.
Oh,
almost, right?
Oh, okay.
But 2.
Yes, that's sort of.
So like it's a lot of stations for just 3 years for some people. Almost 3 years for some people.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing?
2 radio stations in 3 years, that's not too much for me, as far as I'm concerned. If maybe I'd said like 3, then perhaps I would have thought, okay. But even now, that's what I'm saying. I think we had that conversation before we came on. Yeah, about how that's something that maybe we used to do. I've been at my radio station for about 13 years now. Nobody, I think nobody's going to do that anymore, because I actually feel it's very bold to sort of move around, not too much. But move around, because sometimes I actually second guess myself because I've been here for a long time, where I feel like, can I even still, and that's why I had to take the initiative to actually go out and audition in Lagos. Because after a while, when you've been at a radio station for a long time, the cons are they will start to take you for granted. They will start to feel like you can't go anywhere, it's why you've been here.
Yeah.
And then they will start to take you for granted. And then you will start to also second guess yourself, because after when they start taking you for granted, you start to think, okay, let me just stay here because I probably may not be able to do well elsewhere.
Wow.
So there are pros and cons. Yes, you may seem like a flighty person if you're constantly, moving about, but I don't think 2 stations in 3 years. I know people who
But then there's also the thing about, which I think is my problem, which I'm working on, getting bored.
Yep. Yeah.
Like it's something I know I need to work on, because there's a con.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So getting bored easily. Staying on a spot, it's like I need a new adventure.
Well, you can get it at your radio station.
How do you good.
Yeah.
Like how do you manage that? Like not getting bored out wherever you are?
Keep sort of evaluating what you're doing. So the good thing about my radio station is sort of like they allow us sort of independence. I've heard of radio stations where they will, you have to have your script before they have to, they have to tell you this is what you want to do. But I think my radio station, even now they're also becoming sort of, this is what works, and that's also because of the market in Ibadan. So this is what works, but over time, for me, it worked 12 years, because I also get that I get bored really easy, if you know me. But if you also know me, if you followed my radio journey, you know that I probably have changed what I've done on radio. I probably change it every year.
So you can be dynamic on the spot.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can be doing. I've been doing the morning show for about 8 years. Or
where else do you want to go? Like the morning show.
I've been doing the morning show, but if you notice, the morning show has gone from being inspirational, being like gamey, where we're doing word of the day, blah blah, to very serious, to newspaper review. So I have sort of had this knack for sitting back and thinking, okay, what can I do differently? And I think that is
so being creative and dynamic on the spot.
Absolutely.
Now for the other side of it, right? The media farm tour. Okay, not explicit.
Yes.
There are those that say that media girls and guys sort of have it easier. Media girls and guys can't, or it's going to be hard for them to keep a long-lasting relationship. Because they belong to everybody.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows them.
Really?
Have you ever had someone like indirectly, not directly, like maybe for someone say that
because
I like you, but I can't really, because you're too out there.
You just don't like me. Just say the truth. Because if you really like me, you will get over this. Those are just
okay. And then there's the other thing of two people in the limelight. Like you cannot, if you're a radio
dating
girl,
someone,
right? Whoever you're dating is probably someone that's not really like big on the limelight or likes to quiet life.
I tried that and it didn't work. So
two people in the limelight.
No, me being in the limelight and dating somebody
in the limelight as well.
Ooh. So
it didn't work.
Of course it didn't work.
See the tea after this episode.
I don't know if anybody, but thank God I didn't like flash that relationship back in the day. Yeah, I was also someone that was very popular back in the day.
It didn't work.
It did not work.
What was it?
I think I don't like to blame because I just feel like if you're a certain way, you're just a certain way. Saying is because at that time was when I was starting to get really popular. I don't necessarily think it was that. But I think for me, we're just not really compatible. And then at the time, I was about to hit 30. I felt like, I need to be married before 30. Please don't do that to yourself. It's ridiculous, right? And also, I know radio couples that are doing great. TT Dynamite and what's his name? They met at Inspiration FM. Yeah.
Okay, I do know a couple myself.
Yeah. Then Andre and
they work
the
same
Techers.
station.
They work
the
on the
same
same
show.
So I think it can work if you're both, really into each other and you're ready to see past. I don't think if you're home, you're home. It has nothing to do with whether you're on radio or not.
This is the gospel. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So just to answer the person that reached out to me, just to answer their question directly, what's the best way to work your way into the media space or into radio?
Right. Well, I think for me, is to just remove that I have to be on radio. The media now consists of radio, TV,
digital media.
I know, digital media. And there are people who are more popular on on YouTube than people on radio.
Do you feel? And I think this debate has been going on for a while now. Do you feel that digital media is?
I think so.
Sucking up.
I think so.
Traditional.
Because people are now on their phones as opposed to turning on the radio. Even when they're in their car, most of the time they'd rather maybe listen to CD or something, So, but yeah, I think that radio will always be there. Yeah. I don't think that it will be so drastic that nobody listens to radio. Yeah. But I can tell you for a fact that nobody listens to radio like they used to when I started. People don't listen to radio like they used to when I started. So that I know that there's been a decline. So because I think what is going to give radio that permanence is it's on the go. Yes, absolutely.
But
yes.
So a podcast.
People still exactly.
I don't know.
But then podcasts are still sort of mostly recorded.
Yeah.
So the fact that radio I can turn it on and it's real time is what will always give radio that edge, I believe. Okay. But I think radio will always have its place. But I also believe that more people are getting on social media and YouTube to blogs to get their news. They don't have to wait for radio anymore. Blogs are getting there faster and stuff like that. But if you do want to if you feel like I really must get on radio, intern, volunteer, find somebody and just be on them. I know people who are now on radio from just they're always coming with me and just coming to see me, and then they come just and they're around for maybe but it can take time. Because radio stations obviously mostly would not say, vacancy. Even if they do, they're ready to. Exactly. I'm sorry. They'll probably pick from people who are around, who already know the culture. Yeah. So yes, become a radio rat. I always say studio rat. So just be around, put your foot in, and then the door will open.
Okay. So you've been on radio for
13 years.
So you have that wealth of experience. You've had that staying power. I'm not telling you to do anything right now, but is there a time when you feel like for people it's time to move on, or even for somebody who has been on for someone like me that has been on for almost 3 years, do you feel like people get to the point where it's time to move on, and when do people get to that point?
I actually get asked that all the time. When are you moving? I'm thinking there are times people are like, are you still? When are you an OG? When are you going to? I'm not stopping anybody's shine. I feel that everyone can shine. If I'm still here, doesn't mean younger people can't shine, and then as you grow also you evolve and you can. But I also do feel that there are people who are being on radio. Before the late Dan Foster passed away, he was on radio for a long time.
And it never got old.
It never got old.
Also
people just feel like, because for me I started off as a youth copper. moved to start hosting the proper staff. Now I'm a manager. I'm doing other things. I'm head of social media. So I'm not doing the same thing. People think, oh, all I do is just that radio.
Yeah.
I'm doing so much now that, oh my days, that sometimes I don't even have time for radio. So you can do other things and still have your radio job. That also depends on you. So you can be on radio for a long time, but it depends
Like
on
I sort of feel like for you right now, radio is like a side hustle.
Yeah.
I sort of feel for you
very
right now.
apt, absolutely very apt. So I'm not eager to have 5 days on radio, have 2 days, even have 2 days. If I only have 30 minutes on radio, I now know it's absolutely fine. You know, people think that, oh, it's
She's keeping it cute and you know.
So yeah, I think that there will be a time, because I know people who have been there for a long time, then their station makes the decision to just, okay, we need someone younger.
Is there a retirement age for that thing?
No,
Like,
you can be already till you're 100. That's one of the fantastic things about the job. But if your organization feels like, oh, they want younger and more, but if you're doing so good, you can be there in your 60s, in your 70s, and be on radio. But then don't just say, this is my radio job and that's all I'll do. Because once they ease you out, and then you're just like, because radio is also one of those jobs where it's not like you have a pension or you have stuff.
I feel radio is
built up.
also like one of those addictive jobs.
Yes.
Because you have built a life on the encomium and having people call in and talk to you. And
and it's all a lie. Because these people will forget you next year.
Girl!
You will be gone and you'll be done. So please don't, because then you're thinking, oh, my fans will miss Lori Rock.
They move on
They move
very
on really fast. So
quickly.
do not build. If you're going to leave, don't stay back because of my fans or my show. Not your show, because somebody else.
We love you, by the way.
Yeah.
She loves you.
So please leave when you know I'm done, or you start to get vibes from your employers that they start to ease you off gently. Please, just leave. You know, you can tell. I think you can tell when you're just done.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh
my goodness. All right. So finally, to our special person who is listening or watching right now and wants to, get on radio, what would you say to them?
I would say, radio has evolved to, like we've said, to just getting on radio and just talking. If you want to get on radio, that's fine. But I think that before you get on radio, there are certain things you can do that can even prepare you, build a followership, on YouTube, on social media, and then you must also be able to do more than just talk on radio.
Wow.
You must be able to edit, you must be able to build content, radio stations are not going to give you producer, they're your producer, presenter, content, your developer, etc. and everything. So start to build before you get there. Start to do the work so that when they meet you, you're already like your confidence is all the way up here. But you need big confidence too.
A lot of confidence.
Thank
Thank you so much. I managed not to say the MA word.
Yes.
This whole episode.
Mommy.
I deserve some accolades. Thank you so much, Ronnie, for coming on. It's been so much fun.
I know.
And by the way, make sure you subscribe to her YouTube channel in case you want more on her story into media and while in the media space. Head over. I'll drop a link in the description box. I'll also drop something somewhere here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I knew I was gonna have fun actually, because Joanna does give the vibe that she's a lot of fun when you're around her. So
I
was
do?
really looking for
Okay.
you always give the vibe that she's like, you have fun when you're around Joanna, and I have not been let down. Totally lives up to her expectations.
So much for an introvert. All right, thank you so much for listening in. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to her channel and my channel, and make sure you share with a friend you know is probably thinking about getting on radio or into the media space. Please. Thank you.